Hello everyone, it's Nen from Insightful Vibrations. Thank you so much for joining the channel. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope that after you do, you will like it, you will share with your friends, family members, and coworkers, and you will subscribe to the channel. I hope to give you a weekly forecast. For starters, we're going to be doing a weekly forecast for everyone, and then starting next week, we will be doing a sort of general astrology for everyone, and then individual card readings for the signs. So let's get started. So this particular week is your forecast for the week of May 29th to June 4th, 2017. And today on Monday, we have some interesting things starting up that are going to be continuing for at least a week. So the energies will be building. The first thing that we see is a grand cross involving the moon, Saturn, Chiron, and Mars. And this grand cross, of course, involves these planets squaring each other where they're appropriate. So for example, Mars will square the moon and will square Chiron, and Saturn will square Chiron and square the moon. And then there's also that cross piece where there's oppositions between Mars and Saturn and the moon and Chiron. So this basically signifies, what kinds of challenges and crises there could be. And all of us will experience something different depending on what our individual charts look like, but also, the important message here is exhibited through the cards. A lot of us will experience, a sort of reckoning when it comes to what promises we made, what promises we kept, and what we didn't fulfill, and what we're going to do about those ones that are still outstanding. But also there may be issues of commitments that are no longer working, and issues of new commitments. So some of these will be lessons hard learned because Saturn, of course, is there, and Saturn will also help give discipline to heal situations because, Saturn will make you work hard, but it will give you the fortitude and discipline, or at least it will expect it and hoping that you come forward. But Mars will initiate some of this action. It will, of course, anger the moon and anger Chiron and vice versa. But at the same time, these issues that are coming up between Mars and the moon and Chiron, the asteroid, the wounded healer asteroid, will, of course, cause some emotional tensions, and specifically when it comes to females. So this could be females in your life, or even feminine issues in your life that may sort of bring about some kind of transformational need. So there will be challenges for most of us, but hopefully there won't be crises, although that can't be ruled out. I guess the best advice here is that we try to work through things and not use escapism, denial, or some other form of trying to get off easy. Because that won't work with Saturn in the picture here. And in fact, it will be expected that we do the right thing, which is step up to the fore and solve any problems which are in our sphere. So, how will that fared out with the Grand Trine that's also in configuration this week? And that is basically Uranus, Saturn in the North Node, and also Venus, Saturn in the North Node. And what I see here is that there will be a lessening of the tension that would normally be prevalent with a Grand Cross situation and all those oppositional and square energies. But also it's important not to let any easy days that you have make you complacent or couch potato-y or lazy or whatever you would like to say about it, because I think the main thing is, Mars is there really giving us a push to try to resolve some of these issues, these emotional issues, healing issues, issues of discipline. And I think if we just, take that to heart and deal with it, we will be much better off. We also have, asteroids here that are forming some wonderful configurations. I think they could be wonderful. They could just as easily be mischievous. But what we have, first of all, is Hildago or Hildago. I'm not sure how that's pronounced, but basically Hildago 944 is an asteroid that is sort of similar in configuration to Chiron, sort of being deemed to be a centaur, or a horse that's half horse, half human. And essentially what Hidalgo does here is it asks us to look at relationships, and it asks us to look at relationships specifically between parent-children or between siblings, those kinds of things, and examine where things haven't been so good and where they've been excellent, and to show gratitude for what has been working out well, but also to show some kind of insight into where things haven't been good and what our roles are, to analyze what our roles have been in this, anything that hasn't been so good. Where have we played that part? Have we allowed something to go astray, or have we contributed to any discord, or are we just simply laid back and not addressing what has been done to us, for example? Do we need to really think more deeply about relationships? Now, what makes it confusing is that Hidalgo is conjunction with Neptune, in a conjunction with Neptune, and Neptune's in its own sign, Pisces, right now. So Neptune's very strong right now, but what it could do is cause some issues of confusion. So there may be some issues of, well, are we really having a good relationship, or where have I gone wrong? It's sometimes hard to make sense of things. Where has the other person gone wrong? So we're being asked to look at these things, but equally with Neptune opposing Pandora, and Neptune sort of being, very close to Venus right now, I feel that there may be some very exciting breakthroughs as well. And, all of this could mean a breakthrough moment in terms of finding a new partner, a new crush, and a new fated relationship even. I don't see that this is something that you really have to work hard for, although you may have to work hard to sustain the relationship because of the configuration of the Grand Cross. But you may also be meeting your soulmate, and the soulmate isn't always that romanticized person, but it could be somebody who mirrors exactly what you need to deal with. So if you have shortcomings in certain ways and you fall in love with someone you deem to be your soulmate, they may, in fact be your soulmate, but they may give you joy, but just as much give you some challenges to make you grow, to force that evolution of the soul. So I think this is all exciting. With Pandora, the asteroid here, I think Pandora's almost comet-like, actually, and has a lot of ferocity and power, and I think it can really create that Pandora's box effect when it comes to meeting new people and sorting out relationships. So there's just a lot going on here, and it's really worthy to take note that this is not a week when you're going to be sedentary, particularly because Venus and Uranus are aligned with Alphairg, and Alphairg is a fixed star currently in Aries, and it it looks to emotional highs and lows, and can also create this fiery and explosive kind of interaction between people, but also create some unconventional breakthroughs, both in love and money, by the way. So there's a lot going on this week. Certainly not a week to be sedentary or miss it all.